This hearing will come to order. Good morning and welcome to the Budget Committee's hearing on the President's fiscal year 2023 budget. At the outset, I ask unanimous consent that the chair be authorized to declare a recess at any time. Without objection, so ordered. I'll start by going over a few housekeeping matters. Today, the committee is holding a hybrid hearing. Members may participate remotely or in person. For individuals participating remotely, the chair or staff designated by the chair may mute a participant's microphone when the participant is not under recognition for the purpose of eliminating inadvertent background noise. If you are participating remotely and are experiencing connectivity issues, please contact staff immediately so those issues can be resolved. Members participating in the hearing room or on the remote platform are responsible for unmuting themselves when they seek recognition. We are not permitted to unmute members unless they explicitly request assistance. If you are participating remotely and I notice that you have not unmuted yourself, I will ask if you would like staff to unmute you. If you indicate approval by nodding, staff will unmute your microphone. They will not unmute your microphone under any other conditions. I'd like to remind members participating remotely in this proceeding to keep your camera on at all times, even if you are not under recognition by the chair. Members may not participate in more than one committee proceeding simultaneously. If you are on the remote platform and choose to participate in a different proceeding, please turn your camera off. Finally, we have established an inbox for submitting documents before and during committee proceedings, and we have distributed that email address to your staff. Now, I will introduce our witness. This morning, we will be hearing from the Honorable Shalanda Young, Director of the Office of Management and Budget. And per our agreement with Director Young, the committee will recess briefly around noon and reconvene around 12:30 p.m. I now yield myself 5 minutes for an opening statement. Good morning, Director Young. I want to thank you for appearing before our committee today to testify on the President's fiscal year 2023 budget. I also want to congratulate you on your historic confirmation. We are honored to have you with us here today, and OMB is very lucky to have you at the helm. This month marked 2 years since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Since then, our nation experienced the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. Families have lost their homes, their savings, their livelihoods, and their loved ones. When President Biden took office, the pace of vaccine distribution was dismal. There was no comprehensive plan to get shots into arms. There was an enormous gulf between what families and our economy needed and how the federal government was responding. That changed with the American Rescue Plan, which this committee was proud to lead. It kickstarted a mass vaccination campaign, reinvigorated our economy, and lifted millions of Americans out of poverty. Since the passage of the American Rescue Plan, the speed and strength of our recovery has blown past economists' expectations. 2021 was the greatest year of job growth in American history. During President Biden's first year in office, GDP grew at the fastest rate in nearly 4 decades. Unemployment has fallen to 3.8%, the fastest decline in recorded history. And the resurgence in worker power has led to wage increases across the board, with wages for low-income workers up the most. The President's budget request for 2023 takes the next steps toward achieving our shared goals. It provides a discretionary top line of nearly $1.6 trillion for annually funded programs, building on the enacted 2022 appropriations and continuing to reverse years of chronic underfunding. It's fiscally responsible and pro-growth investments in education, affordable housing, research and development, healthcare, and other vital priorities will not only better the lives of Americans today, but will strengthen our long-term economic outlook as well. This budget will expand the productive capacity of our economy and put money back in the pockets of the working Americans who power it. It will lower costs by fixing supply chains and increasing the amount of goods made here in America. It will cut energy costs for families while investing in climate science and innovation so we can tackle the climate crisis and lead in the clean energy economy. It will increase Pell Grants and provide more training and apprenticeships so all Americans have the opportunity to succeed in a 21st century economy. The President's budget is also a call to action on key areas of bipartisan consensus, tackling the mental health crisis, upholding our sacred obligation to our veterans, fighting the opioid epidemic, and investing in cutting-edge research to end cancer as we know it. We can afford to invest in the American people. Rather than handing tax cuts out to millionaires and billionaires, the Biden administration has outlined a new economic vision for America. Invest in America, educate the next generation of Americans, grow our workforce, and build the economy from the bottom up and middle out. This is how we meet the needs of families and communities. This is how we strengthen our recovery and grow our economy so that we build a better, stronger, more secure, and more inclusive nation for generations to come. And we pay for this new economic vision with long overdue reforms to make our tax code more equitable. This starts with making sure corporations and the richest Americans pay their fair share in taxes. The Biden budget raises the corporate tax rate to 28%, which, by the way, is still much lower than the 35% tax rate we had up until 2017. It's completely unacceptable that hardworking families often pay a higher tax rate than the wealthiest Americans. The President's budget fixes this by proposing a 20% minimum income tax on the very wealthiest households, worth more than $100 million. Together, these proposals will help rebalance our tax code to ensure it rewards work, not wealth. I'm optimistic that we can get this done. As we continue to work with our colleagues in the Senate to deliver a reconciliation bill to the President's desk, I am eager to work on a 2023 budget and appropriations process that will deliver for the American people. Director Young, I look forward to your testimony today and hearing more from other administration officials in the coming weeks. Now I yield 5 minutes to the ranking member, Mr. Smith, for his opening statement.